The very first video I ever did was about seeking to understand before seeking to be understood. We're going to talk about that again. Our personal commitment to being a highly effective and successful communicator should never stop. We have sole responsibility for the words we choose and the approach we take. Join me as we discuss various topics that can help us be outstanding communicators. All right. Stephen Covey has 7 principles of effective communication, and the 5th one is seeking to understand. And it is so extremely important. For instance, in the past month, I had a really good friend reach out to me, who's also a business owner, and asked if they could get my advice and my insight around a specific, very difficult conversation that they needed to have with one of their employees. I said, sure. So we met, and he showed up, and he was armed and ready, and he was really prepared. He had a little notebook. He had all the bullet points that he wanted to talk to. He knew the approach he wanted to take and where he wanted to meet with this particular individual. He was ready to go. And when he stopped to breathe, I had some questions. I said, so what is the employee's perspective about the situation? Like, what do you know they're thinking about it? And he didn't know because he hadn't asked. I said, well, what type of training was involved before you got to this point? He didn't know. And I said, what else is going on and what else is on this employee's plate at the moment? And he didn't know. If, in fact, he wanted that conversation to truly benefit the workplace, the overall structure of the business, as well as the employee's success, there was no way he was going to be able to achieve that without seeking to understand the employee's perspective. He had to do that. So we stepped back, we regrouped, we talked about what would that look like. And the fact is that actually is such a healthier conversation. It's less stressful. It's not going into a meeting with guns blazing. It's going into a meeting really with an open mind, seeking to understand the person's perspective in which you're communicating. And that's good. So we had that conversation, and guess what? It went extremely well. There were still some hard topics within the conversation. There were still some things that needed to be said that perhaps weren't easy to say, but they definitely came from a place where there was more information and more knowledge that had been provided because he allowed the employee to share. So whether you have employees or whether you are an employee working with coworkers or you have a boss, and if there is a meeting that you're dreading, you need to go into that with your mind open and ask questions to understand. Now, here's the caveat. Don't ask questions trying to entrap somebody. Most people can see right through that. That's not someone who is truly seeking to understand. That's someone who is seeking to trap. And that's not the environment or the culture that any of us want in our workplace. It just isn't. But go into those conversations truly seeking to understand. You will be shocked at the value and the benefit that that can provide to you and to your place of work. I know you can do this. You've got it.